I love stand-up comedy, but unfortunately, my favorite stand-up comic is no longer with us. So I have to settle for other comics who are good in their own right, including Dave Chappelle. So I watched Dave Chappelle's latest special, and coincidentally, what do you know? It would open up with a joke inspired by Norm Macdonald.
And what Norm did, which I'll never forget, is he knew that I was the biggest Jim Carrey fan in the world. Now, I'm not gonna go all into it, but Jim Carrey is talented in a way that you can't practice or rehearse. What a God-given talent. I was fascinated with him. And Norm knew that. And he called me up and he goes, Dave, he says, I'm doing a movie with Jim Carrey. Do you want to meet him? And I said, yes, I do. And it was the first time I could remember since my father died being excited. And the movie was called Man on the Moon. I didn't know any of this. And in this movie, Jim Carrey was playing another comedian I admired, the late, great Andy Kaufman. Yes, and Jim Carrey was so immersed in that role that from the moment he woke up to the time he went to bed at night, he would live his life as Andy Kaufman. I didn't know that. When they said cut, this was still Andy Kaufman. So much so that everybody on the crew called him Andy. I didn't know any of that. I just went there to meet him, and when he walked into the room where we were supposed to meet, I screamed, Jim Carrey! And everyone said, no! Call him Andy. And I didn't understand. And then he came over and he was acting weird. I didn't know he was acting like Andy Kaufman. Just like, hey, how you doing? And I was like, hello. Andy? I was very disappointed. Because I wanted to meet Jim Carrey, and I had to pretend this was Andy Kaufman all afternoon. And he was clearly Jim Carrey. I could look at him and I could see he was Jim Carrey. Anyway, I say all that to say, that's how trans people make me feel.
Great bit, because it's leaning into what got Chappelle in trouble last time, which was he made a joke about transgenderism, and then the crazy libs tried to destroy his life and career. But curiously, Netflix, even though it's a big lib Hollywood company, does seem to like comedy, so they stood by him. He gets another special. They don't completely destroy his career, and he doubles down. The joke is a Norm-style joke. It's a long, shaggy dog story with a punchline that doesn't really seem to have anything to do with what just came before it. Kind of like Norm's moth joke, where he tells the death of Ivan Ilyich by Leo Tolstoy, and then the punchline is a moth is attracted to a light bulb. And that's the same here. There's a whole story about Jim Carrey and Andy Kaufman, whatever, and the punchline is, yeah, trans people aren't real. The punchline is, they're not, you can't be a man. You're not really a woman if you're a man.
I ain't doing trans jokes no more. You know what I'm gonna do tonight? Tonight, I'm doing all handicap jokes. Well, they're not as organized as the gays. And I love punching down. There's probably a handicap in the back right now, because that's where they usually make them sit. I came here to laugh at transgender people. I didn't know this was gonna make jokes about us. Come on, y'all, let's get the up out of here. Yeah, it's about time somebody let these handicaps have it. Let them let their match tonight.
The guy is so bold.
I call it bold and brash.
What's so bold here is he's not just making a joke. Oh no, look, I'm not doing trans anymore. Ha ha ha. No, I'm gonna do handicap jokes now. Okay, ha ha ha. Anyway, then he does the handicap joke. This is the type of joke that would be most taboo. You're talking about people who truly are victimized, who have been legitimately dealt a very tough hand. No comedian would do it. And he doesn't do it in a mean way. He's not really making fun of handicapped people. He's making fun of the controversy about him making fun of transgenderism. So he does that. He goes on. He's even really telling a joke about the very idea of telling a joke. And then he gets specific. And he tells a joke about a specific guy, former Republican congressman, Madison Cawthorn.
He was like, Washington is worse than Hollywood. I was at home like, what? He said, these people are disgusting. They have orgies and sex parties and drug parties. And I was thinking, this sounds like Juicy Smouye. He's lying. Now, I don't doubt that they do this kind of in Washington, but I doubt he's seen it with his own eyes. Because who the invites a paraplegic to an orgy?
It's a great bit. See, Chappelle is really good at this. The thing that he's ostensibly making fun of here is this crazy Madison Cawthorn right-winger talking about how there are sex parties in Washington. What a big dummy. That's so ridiculous. Get out of here. But the esoteric joke is, yeah, of course Madison Cawthorn was totally right.
He's absolutely right.
By saying, yeah, no, I bet all of that's true. I just don't think they invite you because you're crippled. By doing that, you're totally subverting where some of the audience might have thought the joke was going. You're totally undercutting the point. It's very, very good. Right now, go to hallow.com/Knowles. What better New Year's resolution than building a daily habit of prayer and meditation? Prayer can help you cultivate an attitude of gratitude. Hallow is the #1 Christian prayer app in the United States. It has helped many maintain a daily prayer routine. It can help you too. Download Hallow right now at hallow.com/Knowles. You can set prayer reminders and track your progress along the way. Are you not sure where to start? Well, check out Father Mike Schmitz's Bible in a Year, or as I call it, Bible in 4 years. But I keep chugging along, and it's an excellent podcast, probably my very favorite one. It's available on the Hallow app. You get brief daily readings and reflections. You can join Mark Wahlberg, Jim Caviezel, even some world-class athletes. With Hallow, you can customize a personal prayer plan and listen wherever you are with downloadable offline sessions. You need to have a relationship with God, and you need to be a better person, and you need to be holy. And the only way to do that is to pray. So you need to start praying right now. Download Hallow at hallow.com/Knowles, KNWLES. Get an exclusive 3 months free. That is 3 months absolutely free at hallow.com/Knowles, KNWLES.
God forbid I ever go to jail. But if I do, I hope it's in California. Because as soon as the judge sentenced me, I'll be like, Your Honor, before you sentence me, I just want the court to know I identify as a woman. Send me to women's jail. And as soon as I get in there, you know what I'm gonna be doing? Give me a fruit cocktail before I knock your mother teeth out. I'm a girl just like you.
It's a great bit. The specificity of fruit cocktail is really funny. Like what matters in prison. You know, you think of Dave Chappelle as famous, rich comedian in there. But the fact that he becomes so aggressive and obscene and brutal is great because he's leaning into the biggest caricature of the This is it. He won't back away from it.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
He makes another joke, not vaguely, I guess fairly directly related to rape.
And they said I triggered him because I had done LBGTQ jokes, and it turns out this fellow was a B. That was the headline in the article. It said, Dave Chappelle's alleged attacker is bisexual. I said, alleged attacker? This mother definitely attacked me. I'll show you the tape. He's allegedly bisexual. I'm gonna need to see him suck somebody's before I believe the rest of this article. I read that in the paper. I was horrified. I was like, bisexual? I could have been raped.
So he even shows he's going to go even further. It's not just the trans jokes. He's going to go after this whole LGBT movement and all of the political correctness around it. And he's making a joke about when he was attacked on stage at the Hollywood Bowl. Up until this point, he's been making largely normie jokes. I don't mean normie like only relating to Norm Macdonald, as the first one was. I mean, they're totally mainstream jokes. He starts to get a little weirder in his jokes when he tells a joke about that submersible that exploded by the Titanic.
Well, this next joke is one of those jokes that it's not, you know what I mean? I like to tell it, but it never does good. But I'm gonna do it. You know why it doesn't do good? I'm not good at impressions, but this is an impression. You ready? Okay. This is my impression of the dead people on the Titanic as the submersible was approaching their ship. That's good enough. All right, here it goes. Join us in our watery grave.
Oh, that's awful. The joke is they all died underwater in the same way. Like this one group of people died underwater, and then this other group went down to see them, and they also died underwater. Why'd you go to this place? This doesn't seem like a good spot to go. And so he's merely taking a very dark situation that could be used for a really dark comedy, and he's just saying, hey, look at that. But he can say, hey, look at that in a way that does make you laugh. Okay, then he moves on to the final target of the night. He goes back to LGBT. The whole special could be about LGBT. He goes back to Lil Nas X.
Well, what about you? What do you want to be when you grow up? I don't want to say, because I don't want the other kids to laugh at me. Who cares if they laugh? Your dream is yours. Own your dream so they can come true. Say it loud and proud. What do you want to be when you grow up? Lil Nas X. And stood up in front of the whole class. I want to be the gayest that ever lived.
So it's part of this whole bit where it's like, what do you want to be? A fireman? What do you want to be? A this or that? What do you want to be? And that's it. It's very simple. But the reason Chappelle can do that now is because these are the things you're not allowed to say. Chappelle is obviously a masterful comedian. It's a good special. You should watch it.
I'll see you next time.